The lesson.
Oh yeah.
Man, we were talking about this in the car. When we first met would have been maybe end of 2013, start of 2014.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, it would have been around then. I would have been doing a promo run for the album before the tour and shit. So that sounds about right.
And yeah, man, you know, you've been doing your thing for a minute now.
Word up.
I originally heard of your name through the battle rap circuit.
Yeah.
So I started getting into battle rap around 2013.
Yeah, well,
from memory, 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
And then I remember, someone checking out, coming to check out some battles, and they're like, yo, you got to check out this dude, Manaz Ill.
Oh, wow.
And I can't remember what the first battle was that we watched, but then Homeboy was just like, yeah, and he's blind. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? He's like, dude, he's a blind battle rapper.
Word up, word.
Were you always visually impaired, or that's something that happened as you grew up young? Or?
So, like, the condition I've got, the fucking nerd term for it is Leber's congenital amaurosis. And basically, it's a particularly rare degenerative condition. So as I've gotten older, it's progressively gotten worse. I could see a lot more when I was a lot younger. And then it kind of randomly, at intervals, just sort of, I lose a bit more, do you know what I mean? And so as I've like grown up, like, you know, I've had various stages where I could see more. I think what I've got at the moment is like a bit of peripheral vision, so out the sides. And, you know, it's all dependent on light and all that sort of shit as well. But, yeah, I've been fortunate enough that I was able to see a lot more when I was younger, do you know what I mean? So I have a pretty good grasp on a lot of things. But, you know, the way I guess I choose to look at it, you know, we're all fucked equally, do you know what I mean? The shit that there's people with other issues that affect them, and not to put their struggle over mine or vice versa. Like, no one's walking through this life unscathed, you know what I mean? So we're each here with a fucking burden that we do our best to fucking manage, do you know what I mean? And yeah, like, it's, I think, you know, it's build character for me. People always say that when something's going to be shit, they're like, it's going to be character building. And, I think that's definitely been the case. And like, the battle thing has been more so, do you know what I mean? Because like, it was me really taking the shit by the reins and like being like, I'm gonna like run this. I got a tat on my arm. It says, if life's a bitch, I'm a pimp. And basically, you know, people always told me, you know, life's a bitch. Shit happens, life's a bitch, you know what I mean? But then they're like, life is what you make it. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, if that's the case, I'm gonna fucking make that bitch make money or whatever the fuck. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's all in perception. And you know, I'm fortunate to have been, you know, had a supportive upbringing. But even in that, like, I don't know, bro, I'm like when I was like, I think maybe like year 9 or something, 15, they were like, I was like, because I was like mainstream school my whole life. I just went to school with like all the other normal kids. And I think when I was like 14, 15, mom and dad were like considering like sending me to like a school for the blind, or like maybe it was like, I can't remember whether it was like one of the ones down south, maybe like not Christie's Beach, like Sea Cliff or Sea, I can't remember. But there was like a school there with like a department or like a little thing for blind kids, and they were thinking about sending me there to really get me, you know, make sure I get the education or, you know, the fucking attention that my condition required. And I went there and I like was there for a few days, and like, just they were like tried to sell it to us, like, oh, these blind kids like interact really well with the rest of the student and they're part of it. And I went there and like blind kids like hung with other blind kids. They didn't fucking interact. They were like excluded from like, you know, most social fucking goings on. And like, you know, I might not have had the best like educational experience, but socially I'm like the most fucking I hold myself like better than most blind people I've met in just in a general social environment, you know what I mean? Because you know, whether that's because, you know, I guess they're so babied or wrapped in cotton wool, you know what I mean? They're really, a lot of blind people I think struggle to integrate into society. And I think that choice to stay at mainstream school and like really follow that through, like, go to parties and do shit that I feel like a lot of blind kids probably never got to do. Not out of like, not like their parents or the teachers were being like malicious, but like I think they probably just like fucking tended to them to the point of dependency growing. Do you know what I mean? And I never had that. So I was very fortunate in my fucking set of circumstances that I was able to, yeah, really fucking have the say that I needed to be able to, you know, be a well-adjusted fucking semi-functional member of society. I'm just secure within myself. I'm like very blessed to be like well-adjusted. Like my mother was always real supportive. She like taught me when I was young, there's ways around everything. Do you know what I mean? And the day there's not something that has a way around it that you can do, that'll be the thing that kills you. Do you know what I mean? And so I had this like thing like for so long when I was growing up, I was like conscious of not being like different, you know what I mean? And like, so I like, you know, I've been blind for a minute, or, you know, had a vision impairment for a long time. And I would like not use my cane at high school, even though I probably needed it, because like I was conscious like that's going to be the thing that is going to make me stick out, and it's going to inhibit my ability to really like socialize. And do you know what I mean? So like, you know, I like went through high school and I did all the growing up, you know, like just fighting so hard against accepting that fucking eventuality to the point where I ended up like, I got to the point where I needed, they're like, oh, do you want a guide dog? And I was like, oh, you know, like shit, probably hell below it, but like, fuck, there goes trying to like fit in out of the fucking window. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no knot standing out when you walk around with a dog, particularly my dog. He's like fucking 48 kilos, dude. He's a beast. You've seen him. And so I was like, I come to that sort of conclusion where I was like, all right, maybe if you own it and you just be you, and like people will be like, oh, it's a blind dude, and you know, I got shit like the tats and fucking whatever. Like that's my way of owning it, because I don't look how your typical blind person looks. So I guess my way, I like took ownership of it, and I was like, yeah, they'll be like, yeah, he's like blind, but he's like kind of looks like a cool cunt, you know what I mean? And so once I've really like conquered that like hurdle of confidence within myself, I really like nothing meant shit to me after that. You couldn't tell me nothing, do you know what I mean? I was so kid in the battles, I was like, what the fuck you gonna say to me? Something I haven't heard, you know, 100 times in non-rhyming, more fucking impactful conflict, you know what I mean, in my past. Like it doesn't affect me, bro, because it's like I am a blind person. I'm fucking blind, dude. Like, and what? Do you know what I mean? So you're basically just stating the obvious, you know what I mean? And I'm yeah, real fortunate that I had the support and I had that sort of realization young within myself. Do you know what I mean? Like there's people who battle with this sort of shit for years. There's people who die without having a level of like confidence in myself that I've, or their selves that I sort of have. Do you know what I mean? So I'm very fortunate that these sort of things, like they're words, bro. It's a sound. Imagine having a sound fuck up your day. Do you know what I mean? Like, what does it mean, bro? Like, people's words only have the power that you give them. So,
and like, obviously, as an adult, people know better than to make fun of people that are disabled. But as a young dude coming up,
maybe.
I mean, did you know, kids can be pretty ruthless. Did you cop it back in the day?
Yeah, of course. But that just made me fucking quick. You know what I mean? Where you think I got these freestyle rebuttals and shit from? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's something like baptism by fire shit, you know what I mean? Like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and it just made me quicker, faster thinking. And as far as the battle shit goes, probably more fucking malicious, you know what I mean? Like, I like, people talk about there being lines in battle rap. I battle people like there's fucking no lines. If you're going to talk about me being blind, bro, then like everything's off the table. Whatever your Achilles heel is, I'll just fucking focus on that, because you don't know that, you know, I don't know, say fucking, I don't know, but whatever like affects you, how do you know it doesn't affect me differently? Say I talk about your dead brother, I probably wouldn't do it. I'm a bit more mature these days, but you know, people like, oh, you can't talk about that. I'm fucking blind, bro. You called me blind for like 3 rounds. How are you gonna tell me I can't do that? How do you know you dissing me for being blind for 3 rounds doesn't affect me just as much as me talking about your dead brother? It's because I'm fucking well adjusted and I don't let that fucking shit get to me, because I'm emotionally mature. I'm a fucking man. And people just lose that perspective, I think. So I like, there's no holds barred. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really fucking see where this double standard comes from. Because at the end of the day, the only difference is your ability to deal with what you're saying. And don't get it twisted. Like, I'll say some fuck shit, but it's on them to react. Like, someone might fucking snap, not like what I say. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to censor no one. Like, you can say what you want, but it's on the individual how they choose to react. I can't, if I'm going to say, like, oh, I'm saying what I want, bro, don't censor me, then I can't be like, oh, you can't hit me. It's to each his own, bro. Like, I say what I say with the risk of being on World Star, you know what I mean? I said that to you before that.
Do you find that after a while, the blind jokes in the battles kind of, you know, they get played out and people just start saying the same sort of shit?
A lot of times I do, but there's still ones that, like, crack me up, dude. There's still, like, ones that'll come through and I'm like, that's fucking hilarious, bro. Like,
is there any in particular that you can remember?
Yeah, what did Diz said to me, what the fuck did he say? He was like, I could say 2 words that'll make a blind person see. Eye surgery. And you know you live in a world where God hates you and those 2 things rhyme perfectly.
Yeah, I remember
that. Was incredible. I was like, that was like fucking amazing, dude. I was like, I lost it. I think my man Cortex had a real good one because my fucking real name Ryan spelled with the I. It's like Celtic heritage shit instead of the Y, and so he like addressed it in his bars. He's like, nice name, dickhead. Normally, I'm like paraphrasing badly. Most people would spell it with a Y. I notice in your case they spell it with an I. So here the phrase putting a name to the face definitely applies because both your name and your face have unnecessary eyes. that's like amazing, bro. I still won that battle, but that's fucking incredible. Like he should have won it off the strength of that fucking of that shit. Shout out to brother Cortex, that's my man. But yeah, sometimes, bro, some people come through with some fucking classic shit, dude. I fucking love it.
When you first, like if you reminisce back to when you first got into battling, I imagine you knew that the blind jokes were going to come because they'd been coming before you got into battle rap.
Yeah, of course. So occasionally I'd have like pre-med flips, but generally I find it more fun and rewarding and generally more entertaining for the crowd too, is if you literally just take what they say and work with that as opposed to having like a fucking standard, well, you say that might be nuts. You know what I mean? Like, the freestyle or battle shit is what hits, and that's, I think, a big part of what I'm known for, do you know what I mean? Especially incorporating that into the written battle. Sometimes it fucking flops, sometimes it's incredible.
The lesson.